Let's get more on this with Clint Watts. He's an NBC News national security analyst and distinguished research fellow at the Foreign Policy Research Institute. Clint, these shocking discoveries of bodies that were discovered in Bucha and other towns near Kyiv, how has control of that region changed since Russian forces began to withdraw from the area?
Yeah, we're seeing a remarkable change. You know, if I could just jump back, if we just looked 2 weeks ago and I jump forward to this is last week, you see the blue there. That's where the Ukrainians are taking back over. And if I move now to in and around Kyiv, you're seeing a massive push by the Ukrainian military as the Russians have started to withdraw. What's been fascinating to watch is the Russian withdrawal. Think of it sort of as this. Usually 2 units, maybe 3 units will stay engaged here while one moves back to the rear, or essentially retreats. The Russians have even been leaving soldiers behind. Troops are in pockets right now. And down here in this area, this is in and around Bucha, which is this area here, Irpin, which is where Richard Engel has been reporting from. All of these areas, what you've seen the Ukrainian military be able to do is really push back. And the Russians are moving in towards Belarus. This is also happening in this Bravary corridor. 3 weeks ago, we were talking about convoys, Russian convoys advancing here, getting stuck and stymied by both just artillery fire and dismounts. This is creating a dynamic situation where I think if you peel back, what we're really looking at now is what's going on in the east. The fight is going to move this direction. These troops up here in Kyiv going to move around. And that gentleman that was just being interviewed there by Richard, I would not be surprised if a lot of them start redeploying to match the Russian advance here.
Yeah, so Clint, I want to ask about other parts of the country. Let's start in the south. Over the weekend, we saw Russian missiles strike a fuel depot in the port city of Odessa. Walk us through the strategic importance of that city and what is Russia's goal in that area?
So Kyiv is the political capital, but Odessa is the economic capital down here. Odessa is essentially the port that comes off the Black Sea. That's where food, fuel, a lot of merchandise comes in and out normally whenever this is not a war. This is also a wheat region, a wheat growing region. This is where the exports would go out and the imports would come in. Hitting Odessa is essentially trying to cut off the fuel and lifeline for the Ukrainians, the Ukrainian military. But let's take it back to the bigger picture. Last week, we saw a daring raid of what looks to be 2 Ukrainian Hind helicopters hit a Russian oil depot inside Russia, essentially trying to slow down the fuel for those convoys and those armored formations that are trying to make their way over to the east. So this is becoming a battle of logistics. Ultimately, I think what Putin has to do if he wants to be successful is take this region here, the Donbass. If he can't take that, he won't be able to take anything.
And then, Clint, quickly, I mean, is he having success in that region? What's happening in the Donbass right now?
So in and around this area, Izium was a key town. Over the weekend, the Russians claim they have taken control of this. What you're seeing them try to do is link the forces here from Luhansk with those coming down from Kharkiv in and around Izium. So if they can take that, they would essentially be joining their forces. They've got a big problem, though, on their hands. When you zoom back out, here in the east, they're talking about taking troops, moving them all the way around Russia, back into this eastern flank. What is the motivation of those troops that have been in nonstop battle and losing in and around Kyiv? It won't be that easy to just take those forces and repurpose them. And then at the same time, you see Russia not really picking up more troops, but looking for mercenaries in places like Donetsk, looking for folks from Syria and Hezbollah, even in Lebanon, to come and fill the ranks. They just don't have the manpower really to sustain, and you can see the momentum is switching towards Ukraine.
Clint Watts helping us understand what's happening in Ukraine several weeks into this war. Clint, thank you as always.
Thanks for watching our YouTube channel. Follow today's top stories and breaking news by downloading the NBC News app.